Okay, gray belts, it's time to wake up those feet. So it's time to take your shoes off and get your feet moving like they're supposed to. So we're gonna take a ball. You can take a golf ball, tennis ball. This is just a little yoga ball. What Haley's gonna do is she's gonna stand on it and to honestly just roll up and down that bottom part of the feet. So remember, we always do the MSA type of approach. So this is going to be the myofascial release part on the plantar fascia, just the bottom of the foot. Now, I always like to just roll back and forth, but then when I get to the top part around the toes, I try to see if I can get my big toe and my little toe around the ball. So when you have a golf ball, it's really small, you can really achieve that to really kind of get that separation of this area of the foot, okay? Now, you actually have 3 arches in your feet. You have one here on the inside, which everyone knows about. Then you have another one here, right on where the toes attach to the foot. And then you have a small one on the outside, okay? So right here, when you're trying to separate these two around the toes, that's what you're trying to work on, your metatarsal heads, okay? Then just roll back and forth. It's time to sit there and put a lot of pressure on it. Pin and stretch type myofascial release. And now we're gonna continue with a ball on the calf. And she already has it set up. We take that same ball we used on the foot, but you're going to put it on a yoga block, just like this. We have it set up where it's going lengthways with her lower leg. And what you can do this with a foam roller if you don't have this kind of setup. But what she's gonna do is you kind of roll slowly, find where you have that knot. Now, you can be mean, but you can put that leg directly over where the ball's at. I know, this is terrible. And what she does is now she's gonna move this foot up and down, really kind of dig into that area. You're just digging into that trigger point. If that's too much, you can take the leg off and still just deal with the weight of your leg. Okay, now remember, you can kind of work the outside part, you can work the inside part, make sure you get that whole lower leg muscular. Gastroc, soleus, whatever, we're just trying to tackle that whole lower leg because if that area is tight, it's going to cause ankle movement problems. Okay, last part of the myofascial release, we're getting both sides around the shin bone, your anterior tibialis and your posterior tibialis. So we have 2 balls with this one. She has one that's on the outside part of the shin, and then she's gonna hit that inside meat. So you've got those shin splints that everyone kind of deals with, honestly because you have terrible foot function or a weak hip, which you've already kind of hopefully addressed with this. This is gonna sit there and kind of dig into that area. So just work up and down that shin, find that spot, and do the gas pedal. Okay, next is a banded ankle dorsiflexion stretch. So we're trying to get the movement right here at this ankle joint. Now, remember, you're supposed to have 5 inches where your knee should go over the toe. Remember, don't let the knee go inside the toe. Make sure it goes right over that second or third one without the heel coming off. So this is just trying to get the lower leg to open up. So especially if you're doing a calf stretch or even just testing this movement, if you feel the tension in the back part of the leg, you probably need to focus on your foam roller, plantar fascia, Achilles area, get that tension to work out muscle-wise. If you feel it jamming here on the front, you probably need to focus more on this one because this is trying to open up and distract this ankle joint right here at the talus. So what you do is you just put it right here where the crease of the ankle is at. This one's a pretty heavy band because this one can take it. And all you're doing is just holding that position and working it through. This one just takes time. Now what we're going to do is combine the foot movement with ankle dorsiflexion with hip flexion. Your squat pattern right here with your spine supported. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay on your back, attach a kind of a lighter band to something that's kind of about when you have your foot here, you want it to be parallel with the ground. All right, now I kind of put it a little bit more toward the toes because I really want to try to drive that big toe up because it'll train that arch to kind of pop up a little bit more. So what she's going to do is bring it up, hold it for a little bit, and let it go back down slowly. Good, back up. Now, can you maintain nice spinal stability while you do it? Now, if you have a really weak arch, you will feel it here. If you have terrible ankle dorsiflexion, you will feel it right here on that front part of that shin. If your hip flexors are terrible, you will feel it in your hip flexors. So it all depends on where your body's deficient at, where you'll feel it. All right, now what we did is we kind of angled Haley a little bit. So say this was the band and this was her body in that last exercise, what we're going to do is we're just angling it this way because now we're trying to get her foot to pull the band in. So go ahead and relax, bring it in again. So it's more like a twisting type position is what we're trying to do. Now, this should feel a lot of tension right here on this arch. So this is going to be working what they call the stirrup muscles. like you're riding a horse. So when you look at it, the outside part of the leg comes across the foot, goes under the foot, and then comes back on the outside too. So when I'm bringing my foot in, it's really working that outside part of the leg. Even though it's going in, you think it's here, it's really working this muscle right here. Now, this is a tedious one. This is really trying to just get that arch to wake up. All right, now take your time with this, try to do it really quick, nice and slow and controlled movement. And now what we're gonna do is a half kneeling kettlebell or dumbbell hold, but we're trying to get ankle dorsiflexion. So we're trying to push weight down on the leg to get the ankle to hold pressure, but we're going to cause ankle dorsiflexion. So simplistic purposes, I want the knee to go over the toe. Now, when I say that, I don't want the knee to go inside the toe. That's no good. I don't even really want you to go way far out here. I want you to pretend like you have like a little Lancelot stick and you're trying to go right over here at the mid part of the toe. Just make sure the foot doesn't come off or the heel comes off the ground. And you should have a good 5 inches to the knee to go in front of the toe. So if I'm like right here, stop right there, you're good, come back down.